Okay, looks like I'm live on both Twitter and Facebook. Fabulous. Welcome everyone, it's the Dad Chat Live, the 1st of April 2020. I'm going to hang on before I get into any great detail, just so that we can see if anybody else is going to join us. And I'll just turn the volume on my laptop down so that doesn't go off as well. Okay. Hi Kieran, got Kieran along watching with us, that's good. So like I say, we'll just give it a minute, get a few people in the room before we start properly. I'll apologise if my eyes are everywhere as well. It's because I've got a phone with Twitter here, I've got an iPad with Facebook here, I've got my laptop behind me, I've got camera there, so yeah, my eyes are going everywhere. Oh, Kieran's in the chair, that's good. So any Dad Matters comments popping up, that'll be Kieran doing them for us. And yeah, let's get started. Looks like we've got 4 people on Twitter, we've got 7 or 8 people. Kerno MVP from Cornwall and the Eyes of Silly, that's brilliant. Hello, welcome to you, thank you for coming along, that's fabulous. We're reaching further afield every week, which is a good thing. So for those of you who haven't seen or been to a Dad Chat before, a Dad Chat is basically what we would give to dads at hospital. At an antenatal setting, we'd go and speak to dads, take them out of the room, give them a chat, and we cover 3 main topics, which are attachment, mental health and access to services. So we're going to cover those 3 topics today, but we're going to cover some more up-to-date and recent stuff as well, these various topics that we're going to be covering. Evening to Pete, he's one of our volunteers, I'm a top fan, I can see there, which is good. And hello Jim, nice to see that you're in the room as well. And yeah, hope the Southerners can understand Mick's accent. Yeah, you'll get used to the Northern accent watching our videos, because you've got me from Manchester and Kieran from Bolton, so yeah, we do have a lot of that going on. And hey to Nick, again, Nick's one of our volunteers, so hi Nick, welcome in the room. So yes, like I say, we're going to cover various topics. You may see me referring to my notes at some point as well. It's my first one doing this, I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll see how it goes. So first off, let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Mick. I'm the Tameside and Rochdale Coordinator for Dad Matters. What that means is that I recruit volunteers, I coordinate where they're going to go to deliver our work, I train them up to do our Dad Chats, and I also deliver the Dad Chats and the training as well. There's a lot of other stuff I do behind the scenes. I speak to dads one-to-one. I meet with any dads that need a chat or a bit of support. Now, I'll refer to the term dads constantly, but a dad is basically anybody from conception up to 2 years. That's where we deal with. So yeah, you might be a dad to be, but I'll just use the term dads because it is a little bit easier for me to use that. So yeah, that's who I am, Mick, and I do that work alongside Kieran, who is the project manager, who you will have seen last week giving the Dad Chat. Steve writes in, hi Steve, hope you're well buddy, hope the little baby's doing good as well. So first thing I want to talk about, which we touched on last week and we'll just cover again briefly, is around coronavirus. Obviously we're all in this boat together. We're not allowed to be in the hospital delivering the Dad Chat as we would be, so we've got to do it like this over live video. One of the main things that people are tending to struggle with now is that isolation aspect, being locked down in your house, not being able to see your family or friends. It's causing a lot of problems anxiety wise, there's a lot of stress coming around with that, and basically we're all climbing the walls, aren't we? We're all in that boat, I'm there too. The main thing that we want is that you know that you should talk to somebody if you're feeling down. It doesn't matter who it is, speak to anybody. It could be that you're talking to somebody like this over a video chat, you could be chatting to your family on the phone, it could be a complete stranger, but talking is a big key thing. Just hearing another human's voice, just sharing your experience and just realising that you're all in the same boat together is a massive thing. A great example we've got is on Saturday night. It just so happened that myself and Kieran checked our Facebook and we had a message from somebody reaching out to us. It was around probably 9-10 o'clock Saturday night perhaps, and we both responded and spoke via message to this dad, and then eventually I rung him in the week and we had a really good chat about what's going on, about how he's feeling, how he's coping with baby, and it just really helped. It really helped him understand what's going on, just realising that everybody's in the same boat together, and as well it's temporary. This isn't a permanent situation we're in. We're not going to be locked in our houses for, till Christmas, hopefully, but we're certainly not going to be locked in forever. So it's just trying to deal with it as best we can, and talking is one of the big things that we can all do. So just communicating with each other is massive. I can see a couple of comments popping up, so let's have a look. Yes, the sign is the wrong way around. That's because I'm on the forward-facing camera. It is a normal sign that faces the right way, but yes, so if you can read backwards, which I'm sure you can, you'll be able to see it's got our website address on there, dadmatters.org.uk. It's got our Facebook, Dad Matters UK, Twitter, Dad_Matters, and then there's the Dad Matters YouTube at the bottom as well. Kerry, hi Kerry, she's from Pandas. Pandas are a great foundation as well. They deal with people who've lost babies, who need that extra support as well. But yes, thank you for your comment saying great work that we're doing. That's good to know. So yeah, the struggles with coronavirus. Like I said, just talking, getting it out there. If you feel like you're struggling at all, me and Kieran are always here, so just message us if you need to just vent to a stranger. We can call you back, you can message us, whatever way suits you. We are still here for you. Separate to that, another thing that a lot of dads are concerned about is the changes to the maternity and labour process. We get quite a few messages from quite anxious dads to be now. Will I be there for the birth? What can I do? What can't I do? Is it changing? So we can't speak for every hospital because we've not had that information at present. The main hospital we deal with is Tameside, so we've got their up-to-date information. Their up-to-date information at present is that for birth, a birthing partner will be allowed. So you will not miss the birth of your child. They have no intention of changing that ruling, and it's basically set in stone as far as they're concerned. So being able to witness the birth of your child is absolutely still on the agenda, which will be a massive relief, I'm sure, to a lot of you. The flip side of that is, unfortunately, any appointments, any scans, any clinics, any visiting is cancelled. So you won't be able to do that. I say it's cancelled in terms of for you going with your partner, it's cancelled. The scans, etc., the appointments will still go ahead as planned, but it will just be your partner that goes to them. You'll have to unfortunately miss those, which is rubbish, particularly if it's the first scan and you may miss out on that opportunity. But all these rules and regulations have been put in place for the safety of your partner and your little one, and for the general population. So just know that this is happening for a reason, and just go with it. In terms of once baby's born as well, if you're able to come home quickly, if they put mum on a quick discharge, they'll leave you on the labour ward and you can stay there until you go home. If she has to go up to the postnatal ward, sadly you will be asked to leave and you won't be able to visit again until they're coming home. Again, it's a really horrible situation to be in, but that is just the current scenario that we're in. So we have to deal with that, and you will get a lot of time with your baby once they're home. So just be rest assured, once they are home, you're there as well. So there's that bonus that you're going to get a lot of extra time, because some dads only have a week or two at home with them. You could get a month or two at home with them, which is massive, and that's really going to help. That's really going to help with your bond with baby, which is good. Excuse me. So that's kind of the changes. Like I say, it's only really Tameside that we've got the information for. So any other hospitals, if you're under St Mary's, Oldham, Rochdale, wherever you are, please ring your midwife or ring the maternity ward directly and speak to them, ask them about the changes. You may find that they're a bit inundated with calls at the minute, which is to be understood, but just try and get in touch and find out that way as much as you can, and as much info as we get, we'll share it straight away. But yeah, just try and keep on top of it as much as you can yourself. But as far as I'm aware, they are now the rules, and they probably won't change for the foreseeable future. Okay, speaking of Tameside Hospital, we shared a video earlier today actually. They've got their new Acorn birthing unit open. It's a midwifery led unit and it looks fabulous. If you didn't watch the video we posted earlier, I suggest you go on our page, just look back to earlier today and have a watch of that video. It's a fabulous birthing unit. It really is state of the art, up to date, and wow, to some extent wish we were having another baby. Not that we are going to, but yeah, to just experience the facilities they've got there now is fabulous. So yeah, have a check of that would be good. And yes, as Kieran's rightly pointed, you can speak to your MVP groups as well for any advice and help. Okay, so moving on from that, that's kind of our access to help, the mental health area of our dad chats. So the other area that we cover is the attachment. just drew a blank there, apologies. So it's attachment and bonding with your baby. If you were watching last week, you may have seen Kieran talk about the consoling techniques when baby's upset, how you console them, what you can do to help comfort them. What we're going to touch on now is the bonding aspect, so the attachment and how you can attach with them. Before we get onto it, we've got another couple of comments, so just let me press see more on this one. Dads aren't sure, I can confirm Kieran and Mick are great. Thank you for saying that, Steve. I don't mind saying I was the dad from Saturday night and these guys helped me so much. So reach out if you need to. It's so much better than the alternative of keeping it within you, especially right now. Also, write, draw, paint, do something logical if that's how your brain works. Do something creative if you're able. Do something creative if you're able. You were all great in your own way. Thanks, Mick and Kieran. Steve, I can't thank you enough for that comment. That means the world to us to know that what we've done has helped you, and it just goes to show that just talking is a big thing and we can help each other out in these horrible times. So thank you for that, Steve, and thank you for coming forward and admitting that that was you. It was great to speak to you yesterday as well. Okay, so Wes is watching. Hi Wes, he's another of our volunteers over in Rochdale. Me and Wes work quite closely delivering our dad chats and our outreach work. We've got a few other people. Kate Mack, she's an expecting mum. Hi, nice to see you in there. Wes is apologising for being late. Don't worry pal, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, let's crack on a little bit. So, we was talking about bonding with baby and attachment. We've covered lots of subjects in the dad chats that we do. One of the main ones is skin to skin. If you go to antenatal groups before all this happened, you would get talked to about skin to skin. You'd be told about the benefits of it. It's something now, dads in particular, you might not hear about and you might not get a chance, so hopefully this information that I give you will help. So by skin to skin, it's as simple as it sounds. It means having your skin and your baby's skin connected. So as soon as baby's born, that's usually a good time to do it. Generally, mum gets roughly the first hour or so. That's to help with the hormonal discharge and the bond with baby. It also helps to encourage breastfeeding if that's the choice that you make. They will then give you the opportunity, you will be asked, Dad, do you want some skin to skin? Get your top off. Get involved, don't be shy about it at all. Midwives have seen everything before, so they're not going to be bothered about your little pigeon chest or your big man boobies. It doesn't matter. Whip your top off and get that baby on your skin. It's such an amazing feeling, and again, the hormonal change in yourself will be massive. It just relaxes you. It's such a nice feeling. Obviously, you'll be asked to do it in the hospital, but when you get home, do it again and again and again. As much as you get the opportunity to, skin on skin is such a nice way to bond with your baby. There are so many benefits around it as well. It helps your baby regulate their body temperature, which babies cannot do when they're first born. It also helps relax baby. They'll hear your heartbeat and they'll try and sync with your heartbeat, get in rhythm with you. It'll help calm them down, and it means that they can kind of sort out in their head what's going on a little bit better. In terms of development, when your baby's born, there's only 20% of the brain developed, but in the first 2 years that's going to grow massively, and by the second year they'll be developed 80%. So that's a huge brain development, and skin to skin is going to really help sort that brain out. It'll create nice connections in the baby's brain, so it fires off a positive reaction, and that'll help cement a positive reaction if you do it regular. It will help you as well because, again, like I say, it's quite a calming thing to do. And in terms of health, there's benefits around asthma, eczema, hay fever, those kind of allergies. It can actually stop the development of those further down the line, so it's a really good thing to do, and it's quite a simple way to bond and attach with your baby. They tend to kick off a bit once you get to teenagers, but you know, for as long as possible, do definitely try and keep up with the skin to skin. What else have we got? No more comments, that's good. So other ways of bonding and attaching with your baby is something called serve and return, or reciprocity. Now these two words, I usually say reciprocity wrong, so I'll pat on the back that I did that right. What this means is talking to your baby. It's general communication. Babies are born with that want to communicate. Although they can't verbally communicate, physically they certainly can. So what they want is for you to talk to them, tell them what you're doing. If you're washing the pots, tell them, I'm just washing the pots now, Mummy made a right mess making tea. Or if you're changing the bulb, tell them exactly what you're doing. Look them in the eye when you're doing it, and give little pauses and breaks as though you're having a conversation. And that's what we mean by the serve and return. You're serving them your part of the conversation and giving them the chance to answer. They're not going to use words because they're a baby, and if they can, then I'd certainly be a bit concerned. They'll be a YouTube star, certainly. But yeah, they're not going to communicate back verbally, but they will communicate with you. They will move, they might wriggle, they might kick the leg up, they might giggle, their eyes might focus a bit more. There'll be a reaction, and that's their way of communicating back to you that they're listening and taking in what you're saying. So it's a really good thing to do, and again, it's something that hopefully you've all been doing while baby's been in the womb as well, just talking to the mum, and that again, it just helps with get them ready for that serve and return. Same with reciprocity, it's pretty much the same thing, so you're giving them that chance to speak back to you. It sets them up for when they can talk as well, so they understand kind of the structure of conversations and they get it a little bit more, and it will hopefully help their speech develop a little bit quicker too, which would be a massive bonus. Aside from that, there's something we use called containment. Now, containment's not so much an attachment thing, it is more of a consoling technique. But containment is when your baby's a little bit upset, it's just taking their feelings on board, so hugging them and taking it off them. So you're taking their stress and their worries and you're holding it for them so that they don't have to. It's something it's a massive counselling technique for every stage of life. It's something we do when we speak to dads. We let them offload to us, we contain that, we take that off them so that they can clear the brain and just sort through things a little bit. If anybody's ever had any CBT, you'll know all about it, and it's basically the same for babies, and it just helps them relax a little bit as well. So yeah, it's a really good thing to do. The benefits of these bonding techniques you probably won't see immediately, but as they get older you'll certainly see different things happening. One way of sort of clocking it is if your baby gets upset, as long as they come to you for comfort, even if it's you that's upset them, that's a massive sign that attachment's going well. You're their safe place, you're their rock that they'll come to for bonding. When they get older as well, it means that they'll go out and explore a lot more. So in the playground, in playgroups, when they get older, discovering the world, taking gap years, all those kind of things, they know they've got a secure base to come back to, so they'll be comfortable doing those kind of things. So it's a really good thing. Try and get that right early and see how it goes. Now, I said there about getting it right. That's something else as well. People worry about being the perfect parent, and there's no such thing as a perfect parent, and perfect isn't attainable. So please don't strive to be that perfect person. Certainly in these times where you can't communicate as freely with other people, you will find that you might struggle and wonder, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing to my baby? Will this affect them later on in life? Don't worry. If you get things right 60% of the time, that is good enough, and that's what baby needs. That 60-40 split, what that helps them do is build resilience. So resilience means that when they're older, they can deal with problems on their own rather than having to rely on you to deal with them and to solve everything for them. So if you're getting things right 60% of the time, you're checking feeding cues, you're cuddling them when you need to, you're comforting them when you need to, that's ideal. And then that 40% of the time, it helps them build that resilience. So yeah, try not to strive for perfection because it doesn't exist, but just know that you're doing a good job, and that's the main thing really. And again, if there's anything that you need to ask or question us about, just get in touch with us. Okay, lovely stuff. There's various things that you can use as well when you're doing your bonding. There's things that you can use for your own mental health as well, and even just for you kind of to know you're doing the right thing. I'm going to show you one of these things now, which is called the Dad Pad. So this is something we mentioned in our dad chats, and we've not mentioned on the live ones yet, but luckily I had one with me, so it made sense to show it you. So the Dad Pad, as you can see, is a pad. It looks a bit like an iPad, and it flips open and has various subjects inside it. Now, it's available as a downloadable app, which is what I would recommend. If you've got a smartphone or tablet, definitely get the Dad Pad downloaded. Once you've got it downloaded, it's a bit like, for the older people in the audience, a Haynes manual for a baby. So what it's got is your contents, so it's got a little introduction and then the contents down here. So it's got all the subjects that you might need, and you pick your subject. So for example, if it's cleaning the baby, which I think is page 16, you just find that page, and there you go, cleaning the baby. It will tell you exactly what to do. So it's really good for things like that. It's great as well if mum's not around, if she's having a lie down, if she's nipped to the shop. I usually say if she's gone for a night out, but that's not happening at the moment. But it's a good tool to have so that you can refer to something just to find out a bit of answers and support. As well, you might think you're going to ask a stupid question if you say, how do I set the cot up? Whereas having the dad pad on your phone or iPad, you can be scrolling away and nobody need know that you're actually finding answers to questions that otherwise you probably wouldn't ask. So yeah, it's free. It's been licensed by Greater Manchester, so all Greater Manchester dads can download this. It asks for your postcode on the app when you go in, and then it will come up with your relevant area that you're in, with your relevant maternity services, etc. So yeah, it's a really good thing to have, so download that. It's a really good tool. All maternity units do have copies of them as well, so if you don't have access to a smartphone or a tablet, they can give you actual physical copies as well, because I know that they've got a good supply of them. But yeah, really great tool, so definitely use that. Hi John Strange is in. He's a bit late because he's had a mad day. I believe he's helping out in the hospital, so absolutely fabulous to you, John, because you're keeping the country going at the minute, which is a really good thing. John's got a little one due as well. I'm sure he won't mind us me telling you this, but he's got a little one due later in the year. So again, we're helping him, just giving that support and just helping him through the whole paternity process. So we're speaking about how to access apps and things. We spoke about the dad pod there. For your own mental health, you have things as well, such as groups. So a big one we recommend people to is Andy's Man Club. Now, Andy's Man Club, they're a group for men to come together and just speak about the problems, and it's what we call peer-to-peer support. So it's basically men helping men out. They normally do groups on a Monday. They have physical venues where they meet up, but in the current climate that's not happening, yet they are still online, and they're doing like we do, live videos and trying to get everybody involved, so that they can still offer that support and be there for people when they need to be. So check them out, Andy's Man Club. I think our website is just andysmanclub.org. It's a great little resource and a great little place to go, a nice safe hub. Also, there's one called Mentel. They're based around Hyde and Stockport area. They're again the same kind of thing. It's support, men giving other men support. It's not specifically dad focused, we're the dad focused side of it, but it's certainly somewhere just to speak with other blokes and just have a chat and get things off your chest. What you find when you do speak to other people in them scenarios is everybody feels the same or has felt the same and is going through the same. So it's really good to share those experiences and just basically come together and support each other. What have we got now? Oh, there's a link to the dad pad. That's brilliant, Steve. Thank you for doing that. And Kieran's putting on links for Andy's Man Club in Manchester and Oldham, which is fabulous. The Manchester one's run by Dan, who's our volunteer, who's an absolute top guy as well. So again, he's a really good person to go to if you need to talk at any time. Okay. Around that as well, obviously with Corona, there's a load of things going on in terms of support and help that wouldn't normally be there. We don't have access, or we don't have links for everything at the moment, but looking online you will find a lot of stuff on there. So there's so many places that you can find help if you're struggling. If you need us to find it for you, if you're not sure, we can be your first point of call and we'll then post you on to the right area. By all means, contact us. If you're watching on Facebook, you'll see there's the message function on Facebook, on Twitter. Same again, you can send us direct messages on there. You can tag us in tweets. Anything that you need to do will be on there for you. Okay, I realise I've just spoke for 25 minutes, so I'm just going to have a little sip of water. If there's any questions, anybody watching right now has got a question or they want to make a comment or there's anything that you want to share, just tap it into the comments now while I have a sip of my water. If it's something you don't want to put on live, just drop us a message outside of this chat and we'll get in touch with you that way. Ooh, there we go, that's a bit better. It's not gin, it is water, I promise. So yeah, that's kind of how dad chats work. So we basically share what we know, share our knowledge, try and keep it relevant and up to date where possible as well, particularly around this whole corona based issue, because there's a lot of changes going on and we know that things are moving and changing every day. It's not like this information might be out of date by tomorrow. How small is that glass, or have I got big hands? Yeah, thanks, Kieran. It is a small glass, and I've also got quite big hands too. Thank you. So yeah, that's, like I said, that's the basis of the dad chat, and you know where we are if you need any help. Just do not hesitate to message us. If you message us privately, it will stay private, and that's how it will treat it. It's all confidential, and like I say, we can do a face-to-face video chat, we can ring you, we can just do messaging. Whatever you need, we're here to help, and hopefully next week we'll have some more up-to-date content. We'll do another dad chat, and we might have some exciting news for you as well, which would be fabulous. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'll sign off, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.